tell you, we talked to Becca Armstrong, and anyone who was involved in your game here a year ago has got to be shaking their head at how softball can be a funny game. One year you come in here and you just can't, figure it out for the life of you, and today it just comes so easy.
Yeah, and it did. Edgerton certainly didn't play their best game of the year. They understand that, and it's kind of what happened to us a little bit last year. Although we did some things too. The ball was hit hard at the shortstop many times when she made a couple kicks. She's an outstanding player. We knew that. We scouted her, and it was just one of those days for them. But when we did catch a break here and there, you got to give our kids credit for knocking on the door. Kelsey was outstanding all day. Ellie Grossen, they get that leadoff hit for us, and Kelsey's speed was a factor in the game. And did just enough with the bunt game and got just enough mistakes from them. And then their pitcher, gave us a couple unraveled just a little bit. But, hats off to our kids. And I've been talking to media all day, and I probably shouldn't bring this up, but, not bad for a team that doesn't have a first-team all-conference player. We have not a first-team all-conference player.
How about that?
And that's, that's amazing. And then there are some great kids in the Badger South this year, and maybe it's correct, but, a kid like Kelsey Erickson, an outstanding softball player, an outstanding kid, didn't even make second-team all-conference. So, there's a lot of good players, and
yep.
I'm proud of our group of kids, and I'm sure they're not too upset by that now when you get to go to Goodman Diamond.
Not at all. And we talked with Becca about the strides she's made, and I know a year ago when we talked, a lot of people were asking you why leave a freshman in that situation that long. I think today was the answer.
Yeah, and she certainly, the poise and the toughness, that's come a long way in a year, a long way. And, she got in some tough spots early with a few walks and things like that, but they pitched out of it, and last year she just wasn't ready to do that. As a freshman, she wasn't ready to do that. And as a sophomore, and part of it is, we play a very demanding schedule. We play a Division I schedule as a Division II school, and she gets put in situations against good teams very often, very frequently, and you get put in that situation more and more, and you eventually learn to deal with it and adjust, and she certainly has. We can make her just a little bit better defender. We got a pretty good player on our hands.
Well, that's for sure. She put herself in a spot in that first inning, but otherwise, again, defensively you guys were solid. Offensively, first inning, you never know where the offense is coming from, it seems these days. Ellie Grossen, gets that big triple with one out in the first, and then scores on a drop third strike. And we were talking here, I was surprised that they didn't try to deny that at the plate, because in these games, sometimes one runs can be the difference.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the catcher didn't really make much of an effort to look her back or play on her or drive her back. So that worked in our favor. We knew that our JV coach does a great job scouting, and we knew that she threw a lot of drop balls, and occasionally the ball would get in the dirt and get by the catcher. So we were aware of that. We talked about those kinds of things, and certainly that was a big run early. And
you mentioned Cleveland giving your team a couple of openings there, getting ahead in the count, then throwing a few wild pitches with runners on base. That allowed, I think, a couple runs to score in the first 4-run inning, but that second one, your 8 and 9 hitters come up with hits, and Flannery with the backup second baseman with a 2-run single to kind of, that was almost the dagger there.
Yeah, and she's a great kid and well-deserving. It's been kind of tough for her because we've had a sophomore that's been playing very well, and they've had to share, and the sophomore's been getting the lion's share of the playing time here in the tournament. But Rebecca's kept battling, kept competing, and you love it when it works out. You got some storybook things here with the Gutzner thing, late in the year, and then Flannery stepping up today. Sarah Klepping's hitting below 100, and she gets a big single, there, and the kids just stepped up. You couldn't be more proud of a group of kids, and I'm happy. It's been a great year. Sometimes the kids don't always get along perfectly, but this group of kids is really meshed well, and I think that's part of the reason we've been successful.
There's always a drill that you and I go through at the end of the basketball season where I'll see you kind of breaking out the softball equipment, and I'll ask, any chance this year? And I'm not sure if this year was one that was necessarily on the radar, but you're going back for a 5th time in program history.
Yeah.
Was it ever on the radar?
It actually it was. We caught some breaks this year with Broadhead moving down to Division III, and with Stampley, she's outstanding, and Fort Atkinson, who embarrassed this year a year ago. And I don't know how they turned out. Did they win or lose?
They lost a tough one, 2-0, but took the standout pitcher from Wilmot to the end, and it was had a chance in one of the innings to pull one out.
Jeff does a fantastic job, and they got an outstanding program. And, you know, when we knew when they left and Broadhead left that there was an opening. You know, that we certainly understood that, and that we had a chance, you know, to play deep into the tournament. And we knew it was going to be tough today. It turned out to be a little bit easier than you would have ever dreamed. You know, we didn't think that they would beat themselves to the extent that they did. And again, I'll give our kids a lot of credit for making that happen.